No, no, hey, no, no, hey, no, no, hey, hey, no, hey.
That's fair.
No, it's funny as hell though.
What do you make enough money to do, Greg?
To dream of living, Josh. That's
Okay.
exactly how much.
The
All right.
dream of living.
To dream of living.
Yeah, I guess you just don't own a. You're not the only one of us that owns a house, but whatever.
I'm not living the dream. I'm dreaming of living. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
You're also the one with the house. Greg, what's your social security number before we go live on air?
281 75 6483.
There's a legitimate chance that's what it was.
I couldn't even tell if it was the right numbers. He said too many uhs. I got lost, man.
Hey, so
Stop flicking your fingers into the mic.
Jerry said that's some good ASMR stuff, though.
He goes,
I'll give you that.
Hey.
So hand up.
Panda.
Hand up. I got greedy.
Okay.
I got really greedy.
What did you do?
Take
Well,
guesses.
The year 2023 was really going well.
Okay.
The ghost.
The government said that aliens exist. I got to meet a ghost, and I thought that I would drag my wife into the backwoods of Washington State in an attempt to find Bigfoot, and I did not come home with evidence. And I'm just really
get
upset.
close? Did you get close at all? Or no?
No. Nope.
Oh, that's all. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Okay. I was waiting. I was like, yeah. Like,
No.
what is that?
And I found him.
Listen,
He loves the show. Yeah.
I mean, I'm willing to bet.
Big fan.
Just because you couldn't find evidence doesn't mean that he's not real. I choose to believe Bigfoot's real.
Yeah.
And
What's the evidence for there to be oxygen in the room right now, Josh? That you're alive?
Nope.
Grow up. There's
Not
no
science here.
Yeah, exactly.
Not our science.
you don't believe in science in that household. That's understandable.
No. Only religion. Okay.
It's subjective.
It's subjective. That's all. That was my bit to open the show.
No, it was a good one.
That was
because,
my planned bit.
I had to break the heart of a few people that Bigfoot video that everyone's freaking out about on the train wasn't real. Like I had to break. Did I just break your heart, Josh? So it's Twitter put up a notice, like their truth notices. It's a train excursion you can ride called Seeking Bigfoot, and the owner goes out there in a suit.
Oh my god.
Also, though, like tight.
Also,
though, like cool.
Send me the link.
Yeah,
I'd like to join that.
How do I
But yeah,
book one?
Wow.
Everyone's like, look at the video. It's so crazy. And I was like, yeah, that sucks. It's fake. And they were all just like, what?
Oh,
I was like, damn it.
And that's the day
How many
that the social media manager got fired.
Yeah, I just got
How many
ransomed.
collective hearts do you think you broke with just that one comment?
3 at least.
At least?
4
Okay,
now.
that's still,
Yeah, 4 now.
that's more
Golly.
than that's more than probably most people could say. So good on you, I guess.
Yeah, it was a good day. Now, Greg, you say something about the Sasquatch. Since Josh and I both have compelling stories.
Oh, actually, so
He's
I've
right
told-
here.
Well, I wish. I've told you about how Necromancer is expanding into Greenfield, right, with a second location.
Mhm.
They're naming the pub. It's not going to be like called Necromancer. It's actually going to be called the Midnight Whistler Pub, which is an ode to a beer that they brewed previously that was in homage to Bigfoot.
Shut up.
And and actually, I don't know Midnight Whistler, but like I think it's like the something Whistler. But I read the article
Oh
that
my
like
God.
when they open, they have a giant I don't know like what's it called, like when you have like the deer mounted on the wall or something, like a taxidermy.
Yeah,
They're having
taxidermy,
one.
yeah.
Taxidermy, yeah, they're having one that looks like Bigfoot, like on the wall when you walk in. So
Wow.
That's a great beer.
I'm all about this.
Yeah,
I
the
don't think
logo's
I've
sick.
had the beer actually. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I
Oh,
was
it
thinking
doesn't
about
matter. It's a great beer.
I was thinking about joining the Mug Club as like my splurge for working all the overtime I do every year. So we'll see.
Yeah, you got to drive a little farther now to get the Mug Club there.
Yeah, it's not too terrible. Like 15 minutes. It's worth it for their beer. You know, why not?
Nice guy, smart man. I did not think he was going to be able to come up with the story, Josh.
I didn't
I lucked
either,
out.
I'm pretty
I
upset.
lucked out.
especially after the debacle of the draft last week. I thought maybe that we were going to be up the river here, but he
Yeah,
got it.
anything internet he can't do.
Yeah.
I can't do many things, and the internet is one of them. What can I say?
Speaking of the internet, Derek and I have seen a list. And
Oh no.
since Derek is abstaining from sex, and I am married, we need you to answer a couple of questions for us.
Okay. Can I crack open my beer while I do this?
Oh,
'Cause I
that's
feel
a
like
good
I'm gonna
idea.
need
Let's
all
do
that.
I think you
Let's do
need
that,
to.
yeah.
So here we
Yeah,
go.
I'm gonna
3,
need that.
2, 1, action. Greg, what are you drinking?
Shout out to Steph's husband Ryan, who like
Oh.
absolutely like sung the praise of this beer for the longest time. I've never had it. It's from Toppling Goliath Brewing. It's the Pseudo Sue Pale Ale. It's got the badass like T-Rex on the can design,
Oh,
and it's a sick can design, but I've never had it. So
That's cool.
interesting. Yeah, I was excited to ask you because I knew you were out of the other beer.
Oh, that's right.
delicious. Yeah.
Mhm. Josh?
I have from Skydance, Tasty McTasty Face, which is this
Wonderful name.
awesome like
I
smiley
know we should have had you
face.
tilted sideways. Oh,
I
yeah,
know
you can
I
see it.
opened it already, but pretty great.
That's sick.
Yeah, pretty awesome. I
One of the
wanted to
happier
get,
can designs I've seen.
they released a beer called Skoden, which is slang on reservations for let's go then. So it's like a
Nice.
little
Yeah.
yinzerese kind of
Oh.
almost, where they just jam a bunch of words together.
Oh, for sure.
Right, I'm all about that.
The Sko girls. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Sko girls.
Skiggered.
Sko girls. So the Skoden though is an 8% hazy IPA that just
Just
you could have put a nipple on that thing and I would have just sucked on it for the rest of the day and been dead.
good to know.
So when I went to go get that, they didn't have any, which was a bummer. So now I'm trying this.
Nice.
Have you ever,
Cool can.
West Coast style.
Have you ever gotten dead from sucking on a nipple, Josh? Just out of curiosity.
Not yet, Greg.
Did you say gotten dead?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not yet, Greg. But one day I will.
Okay. So that's a
Well,
good.
you
that's a
gotta
good feat to try to
gotta suck
accomplish.
on a nipple to find out.
Yep.
Thunder Pale Ale, Thunder and Serenica, Jackalope Brewing Company.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Yes.
Are we ready for this list?
Yeah, Greg.
Go ahead.
So recently, a woman, I assume that a woman did this.
We hope.
There were a
It's the
group of
internet.
women. There
We-
were a
we don't
group of women
A
who
group.
collectively made this.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Context
Okay.
is important.
Great question though.
So here's a list of places women absolutely refuse to go to on a first date.
I
and
think
thank-
I saw this randomly, but I didn't actually. I saw this on X, or Twitter, but I did not actually like dive into it. So I
Okay.
do not know. Yeah,
It's just
I haven't,
just like Colin Coward's McDonald's McFlurry machine, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. All right, good, Josh. Sorry,
So-
just he's on my shit list right now.
do we want to go in
I've always
reverse
wanted to see
order?
this.
Start at
Um,
28 and go up?
I don't think it's in a power order. I
It's
think it's just
not.
in a So I don't. Either way, it's fine by me.
Okay, great. Okay, so they don't want to go to a sporting event on a first date. Greg, would you take
No.
a girl? No, you wouldn't. Not even like a
No.
Hounds game where like you really don't have to pay attention. There's a lot of beer. It's fun. City looks nice. Baseball game where you can look smart.
No, that's like for a first date, no, because like first date you kind of at least like want to talk and want to get to know the person,
you?
and like I kind of do. So like if I'm at a sporting event, like I'm gonna be distracted easily, so that's kind of like not the best look, I'd say. So I can agree with that one.
All right, fine. What about a Waffle House, Greg? I feel like the epitome of class. Waffle House should at least be in the conversation.
Never been to a Waffle House in my life, so
Oh,
I have
well,
no way
shit,
to
okay.
make it.
Down
yeah,
here, it's happening. Yeah.
Okay.
that's what I figured. Yeah, my brother and my dad are in Myrtle Beach right now for a couple days, and we set the over under at 4.5 times they eat at Waffle House while they're there. So
Honestly,
Love
that-
that.
get the over
Mhm.
going.
Yeah.
mhm.
I would like to just leave Waffle House on my list for in case it's a really good first date. And it's like 2:00 in the morning, and you've just been hanging out all night, and you're like,
okay,
"Hey, you want to go to
okay.
Waffle House?" I think that
I
sounds
like
great.
Josh. I can appreciate that. That's like it's like a back pocket type thing. You're like that's like the best case scenario situation, not like from the start, but like best
Yeah.
case scenario.
Yeah, best
I
case
like
scenario.
I think it's bending the rules, but I like it.
Right.
Like it is first date, but also still the
Yeah,
first.
it's still the first date. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. A bar for just drinks. Now, what's wrong with that? That feels like that. Greg has done that on a
cocktail
first
bar?
date. We know
I
that.
have,
Yeah.
yeah, I have. I don't
But
get
it-
I don't get why that's bad, because that's like
Yeah.
you meeting the person and like kind of like getting to know them and kind of like feeling each other out, seeing like what it is, because it's casual, it's not a lot of effort, honestly. So I
Maybe
don't
that's the
get what
problem.
Oh, maybe. So,
maybe.
because Mike
Hmm.
Nicolazzo, shout out for
Okay.
the program, he used to start everything at that the super fancy cocktail bar in Lawrenceville that became Condado.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Deke?
Hmm.
It was
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
on the corner, like across from where industry is.
Yeah, it's where
Yeah.
Condado is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I
what
don't
was
remember
it?
what it was. I don't remember what it was called, but I know exactly what you're talking
But
about.
he would start there,
It was
and
sick,
then
yeah.
and then he would give them the option to go to dinner if they wanted to. But that's where everything started. I always thought that was
Okay.
a cool move. Okay, number
Well,
25.
wait,
What?
does it depend on the bar then? I guess.
So it's. I
That's a
think
good
it's more
question.
of like a. There's dive bars in there. A lot of dive bars don't carry some food, but like there's high end, classy cocktail bars that don't do.
Like
I
you're
don't
not
know, that's
taking her
very
down
concerning.
to Jack's, okay?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
Exactly.
I'm also
Maybe
but
you
I'm
met her
also
there.
not. But I also don't want to take her to Acacia as a first date. Like that's like
Why not?
like
That's a great
I would-
example.
I don't know. I don't want to like, because first off, it's a speakeasy, and that's like something I would want to do like.
Yeah, but you
couple
said at the
dates
game
in,
all you
but-
wanted to do was talk to her. Now you go to a speakeasy and you
I know it's just like the ambiance is good and all that. That's fair. It's just I
Josh,
don't know
remind me
for a
never to go
first
on a date with Greg.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst. What can I
Okay.
say?
Number 25, I 100% understand. However, if
Mm.
you are underage and in college, the hookah bar may be the only place that you can go.
Oh God.
It is
Ugh.
so gross to think how often
Ugh.
like it was such a thing to do, and we'd go to the south side and we would suck on what we had no idea what it was. It just tasted like mango or dragon.
I'm amazed.
Yep.
I'm amazed they still exist in 2023.
Facts.
I really,
we got them
really
in our
am.
hands mostly.
Oh God, disgusting.
Number 24 is nightclubs. Fine, whatever. I wouldn't go to a nightclub to begin with. 23
I agree.
is bowling.
A great historical
gr-
first.
I agree. I agree. I don't understand why a woman wouldn't want to do it. Because the idea is you can be competitive if you want. It's cheap. It's just kind of fun,
great.
like egging on with each other. Yeah, I don't get like what the problem would be with that
COVID
one.
ruined it.
Oh, maybe.
COVID ruined
Mm.
bowling.
Because here's the thing, it's not like bowling is the only thing. Like I'm assuming you would probably like get drinks before or after, or like do something else after. Like it's not the thing that you're doing. Like there's
Maybe.
more to it probably.
I think bowling needs to be left on the list. Okay, or left off the list rather. It needs to be on the
Okay,
table.
I was about to say like that's
Yeah,
I'm surprised you'd be anti-bowling
Yeah.
in that case.
Somewhere that requires a long drive. That feels like that's just safety on their part, especially
Yeah,
if you're
so people
driving
just hate
together.
murder.
Right.
God.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Movie night, Netflix, Hulu, etc. So a movie night at that person's house.
Oh, on a
For-
first date? No way.
Yeah, no
No way.
Got it. That makes
Mm-mm.
sense.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Family
Yep.
functions.
Oh fuck no. Absolutely not.
That one doesn't. It doesn't even
no.
need put on the list. Like
you would
who?
think.
Who would do that?
I don't know.
That's oh man.
That's
I
crazy.
oh no way.
Here's one that I have a big problem with. That it's on the list. Ice cream date.
I don't get that, and maybe it goes back to what you were saying about Waffle House, which is like you end it there. Maybe if we
Yeah.
end it at ice cream, but I also don't see an issue with be like, yo, do you want to go get ice cream as our date?
Yeah, like ice cream strikes me as like, again, ice cream's not the main attraction to me. Like I feel like if you combined like bowling and then getting ice cream after the fact, like how is that a bad date? You know?
Facts.
Maybe
Like
these are solo.
I think they're
okay.
individual, but if we could
Okay.
combine them, a
Combine
long drive
bowling
to
and
ice cream.
If it's damn good ice cream, yes, that's fair. Like
Yeah,
I would
it's
absolutely drive. I drive for Pages
yeah. I was
easily.
just gonna say you live
Absolutely.
in Cranberry. You gotta drive to Pages. Okay, these two go together: Starbucks or coffee dates.
As a first date, I'm okay with it, I think.
What if you're both
I'd say
busy individuals and maybe it's easier to go get a coffee in the morning and meet somebody and start your day off nice?
It's a really
yeah,
good
like
question.
that's very much like a weekend, like Saturday, Sunday morning type thing, perhaps, or like or like like on a Friday or something, if you're not busy at work or something, then you meet up for a drink or something. Like I don't get why that's a problem.
I think
Especially if it's like especially if it's like an artisanal coffee place or something, like you're getting a fancy drink, you're sitting down and just like talking to someone. Like I don't get why that's bad.
perhaps it is all based around the time. That it is
It's a good
based
point.
around that coffee is an early morning activity and not
And
everybody.
it's quick, right?
Yeah, it's not a lot of time.
Not everybody's a morning person. That's
Yeah.
fair. I will
Plus,
give you
my
that.
man Greg uses that as a second date for when they wake up in the morning. Ka-chow.
How do you like your eggs in the morning fried and fertilized?
I'm so glad I didn't drink on that last
Oh my god, that was good.
Number 16, church.
one. That goes without saying.
Does it?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Yes.
Not down here, boys.
I don't think so. I was
Not
gonna
down
say,
here.
I think shout out Jared and Abby. Jared asked Abby on their second date if she was Christian and accepted Jesus Christ as her Lord and Savior, because if she didn't, he didn't want to continue to date. My man had priorities and wasn't fucking going anywhere. Didn't matter how hot you are. It's like, hey, all right, so church, okay, fine.
God bless him on that one.
15 is interesting because I feel like this is a place where you would meet somebody.
Ooh.
Is the gym.
For a date? No, that's
First date.
Oh, true,
that's
first
well,
date. But
yeah,
what if,
first.
I don't know,
But
first
you're right
date.
too, Josh. So you
Yeah.
might meet someone there, but also here's the problem with hitting on people at the gym now. The most viral videos are exposing guys like
For
looking at
looking
or
at
talking
chicks.
to, yeah,
Okay.
and like
Yes,
it's this
it's
safe environment, and I'm not talking shit on any of that. But I don't even look. If I'm at a gym, I look down, I grab my weights, I close my eyes, and just do my shit.
yes, I have no desire to talk to or interact with
I
anyone
got
if
the
I'm working
desire,
out.
Greg. I'm just embarrassed.
No, like if I did have to go to a gym, like I would just get in, get out, do my shit, and not worry and not like bother anyone because I don't want to be bothered. So it's just like I can't imagine why anyone would even say, "Hey, let's go to the gym for a date." Like, no.
Okay. IHOP and Denny's are 13 and 14.
That's another like post like day like activity type thing. I feel like
International
like
House
you
of
have
Pancakes.
But why are those two
Absolutely.
together, but Waffle House is separate?
Yeah, and why is Waffle House so low on this list? Like,
Oh,
is
so
how is
funny.
this list ordered? Where like number 1 is like kind of acceptable and number 28 is unacceptable, or is it
Yeah.
inverse? Because if it's inverted and Sports Event and Waffle House are kind of acceptable, that's the place I want to live. That's the world I want to live in.
Has it been-
Sporting event
has it
to
been-
the Waffle House sounds like the best date ever.
Has it been interpreted like if there is an actual order for this list or
No.
not? Because that's
No, I think they were just sitting there going, "That's one.
You've just got
That's another
3
one."
straight white
Shout out
dudes
to,
breaking down this list for no
Shout out to
fucking
Isaac
Oh,
reason.
Slings
man.
in the comments too.
Yeah. What is
Oh,
there stuff in the
God.
comments?
Yeah, Isaac
Good.
Slings.
Whoa. Hey, Isaac, what's up, man? Isaac, how many of these have you done as a date? I need to know. Okay. Then a buffet is number 12.
Oh,
So many
The first-
variables.
I know because because I can't recall the last time I've been to a buffet. First off, because my eyes always end up being bigger than my stomach, and that's just like unsanitary is one, especially if it's not a nice buffet. And then the other aspect of it is like you're kind of like there as like it's a gluttony type thing, you know? Like that's kind of not a situation I want to
Fair.
bring a date to either. Like that's just it's a bad look.
So I think, and also keeping in mind that I've never dated as an adult. So just keep all that. My perspective is very small.
Streets are tough,
Okay.
Josh. Streets are tough.
Streets are tough.
Yes, they are.
But
Yes, they
there was a Chinese buffet in the Clearview Mall
are. Oh my god.
that slapped.
Chinese buffet, way different.
Try. That's like Deke. If I was like seeing someone in slip, I would absolutely take them to End Line down at the bottom of Main Street and just go ham on some Chinese food. Why
That's what
not?
I'm saying, man. I don't know. Okay. So a buffet. Number 11 is Red Lobster, which this enters a territory in which there's a couple other things on here, so we'll just get them all out of the way. Red Lobster, Olive Garden, Cheesecake Factory.
I'm cool with Red Lobster. I think Red Lobster's kind of nasty, but it's the idea and it's the thought and it's the fact that fucking Olive Garden is there. Frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Justin Luter and I once went on a mandate together to an Olive Garden, and we both agreed this was the nicest place we've ever been together.
It sounds lovely. Yes, it really does.
My friend said to that though, he goes, "Well, that's because they're not family yet. You haven't met them." And I was like, "Wow."
Oh,
Point.
Uh-huh.
And then the
Wow,
Cheesecake Factory, after that Drake song, I just don't think we can ever go there on a date.
Never.
Because why you got to fight with me at Cheesecake? You know I love to go there.
It's the best line in rap history.
Okay, the next two on this list, I think they think are the same thing, but they are wildly different, and I believe one of them should be off of this list and acceptable. Wingstop and Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Wildly different.
Not even close.
Wingstop is like essentially going to a fast food place as a first date. Buffalo Wild Wings is at least sitting down, like having beers, having like every single game on you could possibly imagine, and just enjoying yourself.
There are some of my female coworkers who are single and or dating that if they were to ask to go to a Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm pretty sure these chicks would be down. If you're like, hey, Saturday noon, fucking college football all day, me, you, beers and wings.
My only pushback is that Wingstop has the better wings. By like a mile. And so here I'm with you guys. It's fast food versus a restaurant. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I name those two and she picks Buffalo Wild Wings and she thinks the wings are better there, the sauce is great. I'll give you that.
Sauce is great.
The chicken wings of Buffalo Wild Wings are gross.
Yeah.
Wingstop has really superior wings. So there's something to be said about the other side, but I'm also cool as long as one of these survives.
Okay, so we're going to split the difference and say that Big Shot Bob's is acceptable.
100%.
God. Are you making that a caveat that like the girl has to say that like the wings are better at Wingstop?
No, I'm not gonna. I don't want to on a first date. I don't want to know their wing preference. Although
sauce perhaps.
There is a very important key to eating wings with your potential life partner that you could get out of the way immediately, and it's whether or not they're a drum or a flat.
That's a really good point.
And the best relationships are when one person is one thing and one person is the other thing. So if you both reach for a flat off the drop, like, fuck, can't do it.
Challenge
Accepted. Let's go.
Organic discussion.
Organic discussion. Yep.
We are in the year 2023 of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yes, we are.
There are a lot of places where you can order a batch of just one type, and if you both like one type, that makes the order work. Organic debate.
Somewhat cheating a little bit.
How's that cheating?
I don't think it's
I don't
cheating.
know. It's just like it's taking the fun out of like the mystery of it, possibly. But
if you both like flats,
I think there's two ways this plays out. You don't take that into account they both like a mixed bowl comes and you both grab a flat, that's a bummer. But if you order only flats and then she orders only flats, that's love at first sight.
Double the flats.
Double flats. And then if
Yeah.
she
Double
orders a
flats.
banquet, you just fucking you'd be like, "Excuse me,"
Cry.
and then you go over to the quarter machine and you get a ring out immediately.
I gotta call my mommy.
Yeah. Mom, I'm getting
I love-
married. Michael,
I
why
love
do
how
you
you
always
believe-
call and say that?
I love that you definitely believe that this place you're going to does in fact have a machine for you to be able to get a ring
If
out. That's
Buffalo-
great.
All of these establishments
Listen,
do.
listen to me,
You never
Buffalo
know.
Wild Wings. If you do not have a twisty gumball machine with fake rings in it for this exact situation, install them immediately. You have the
I
most
think
clever
Quaker-
advertising on the planet. This is just another thing to add to your fucking whatever.
Quaker Steak and Lube definitely used to have them at their locations. I know that for sure. I don't know if B-Dubs.
Did you
does
propose
that
at a
way.
Quaker Steak and Lube with a quarter ring?
Perhaps. You don't know.
He's like, I know that for sure. I know for
Like,
sure the Quaker Steak on 86 got rings.
They cost 50 cents a pop, though. They're not just a quarter.
They're not cheap.
Any fast food chain, which I feel like there's one exception to this, and it's only because I've seen people get married there, is Taco Bell.
If it's a
I was gonna-
cantina.
Oh, yeah, cantina.
But do people,
Yeah.
is that, yeah, so is
Oh,
that fast
yeah.
food? Because the cantina is like the
Just
fucking tits.
It's the best. That Vegas, the one in Vegas on the Strip, fed me for
Sick.
2 weeks.
So sick.
Oh my god.
I just had to be there for the conference tournament.
You had to be there. I love
No, I
that.
had to be in Vegas for the conference tournament.
I'm
I
aware-
chose to go
I'm
to the
aware.
Taco Bell.
Gosh.
Greg.
I'm aware, but like I love that.
Okay, number 7 is your house. Hear me out.
That's obvious. That's
I agree.
obvious.
I feel like that's pretty obvious, but what if I have set up a really cool obstacle course?
I would assume I got there and you're gonna kill me.
Oh, it's shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, number 6 is the movies, which hot take.
Mm.
I'm kind of okay with that because you want to talk to the person.
Yes.
I think
If-
you
if
just
I-
saved. I think you just absolutely saved Greg because he was gonna say the
Yeah.
movies is a good first date.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing.
This beer.
If I was going
rocks.
to Row House and like we were getting drinks beforehand and then seeing the movie, I can consider that a good first date. But I was gonna say like if
Singular
I-
event, Greg.
It's a
Singular event.
Singular event.
Okay, singular event.
Stop
okay, that's
making
fair.
the perfect date.
All right, I got you. But yes, in fairness, I don't want to talk during the movie, so yes, I would not take someone to the movies on a first date.
And again, Buffalo Wild Wings. That's why it's perfect.
Yeah, you can talk.
You talk and watch sports. Okay. Number 4 is Chipotle, which I feel like okay, sure. Number 3 and number 2, I think Derek and I have a big problem with. Chili's and Applebee's are not good first date spots.
If we can't do it for 20, what the fuck are we doing?
What are the fuck are we doing? And like they give me the big Dr. Peppers in the cool mugs, and
Yup.
the appetizers are always fucking fire. And I would definitely order the fucking fajitas to show off on a first date. I want that sizzle. I want everyone looking at me and this chick.
Yup.
I think you suddenly like gave the reasoning for why Applebee's has the 3 for me option on their menu.
Yeah, buddy.
That suddenly sounds like a point. It's for the guys who want to do that on a date but can't bring a date, so they do it for themselves.
3 for me, baby.
Mhm.
So that's the list. And I'm going to so the first 3 dates that I had with Anastasia, the first one was at my apartment in college. So, but
That's college. I think that's okay.
the invite was to drink PBR and play Mario Kart, which is not on this list.
It's not.
So,
It
The
is
location
not.
is, but
That's-
it is not.
yeah.
Yeah.
The second date was ice skating, which is not on here.
I think that's a really good one.
I think it's a great
that's
one.
a classic. It's a classic. I'll give you that.
Especially when you can skate. It's a great. It breaks the
That-
touch
even-
barrier. It's
Facts.
all that
Save
stuff.
Even
them
if
if
you-
they fall down.
Yeah.
Even if you can't skate, I think it's a good date option actually.
It's especially a good date option when you can skate.
But either or, if you can't, I still think it's funny.
Okay. And then
Funny.
the third one was a coffee date. So I guess call me old fashioned. It was
Yeah,
at
that
the
was back
Beehive
in
though, so it was cool.
2008.
Yeah, no, 12.
Close.
Long days, long times.
Yeah.
Long days, long nights.
All right. Well, thank you for playing that game, Greg. Derek posted this list and said, if we can't go to Applebee's, I don't want to date you. And I texted him immediately. I was like, Greg has to do this list first thing for the show.
We just want to make sure.
If the is the Dollarita like off the table on this one then? Because that's like the sticking point then, I feel like.
I mean, here's my thing. You can definitely still drink Dollaritas. It's just apparently not with a woman on the first date. And it's very
That's
offensive.
awful.
I just don't.
That is very, very awful. Yeah.
The number of like, so that are we saying then like locally Eaton Park's off the list?
I would say yes, because it is just a Denny's, right?
Damn.
Yeah, it's the Western PA version of Denny's, essentially. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
But they have smiley face cookies.
And the salad bar.
You
Yeah,
buy.
yeah.
Well, oh, that's a buffet. Man, we hit. You can get ice cream, a buffet,
Facts.
and it's a Denny's. It's a triple threat of a no, Greg. It's a triple threat of a no. That's the way we're doing it.
So wait,
Stay single forever.
So wait, does that mean then if you combine stuff on this list, it's even a harder pass then? So that means the bowling and ice cream thing.
I
just
think
doesn't
even
work.
a single thing is a pass. If you
Yeah.
combine them, I don't know if there's such thing as a double pass, but you may
Yeah.
have hit it. Yeah.
Mm,
You're already
double
getting
pass.
denied.
I'm getting denied, and then the next one I'm gonna get denied as well. She won't even like know who I am. But I'll just
Can
immediately.
you
get
imagine?
denied.
Like you're like messaging with this girl, and she's like, "All right, what's our first date gonna be?" And you're like, "Hey, I've seen this list. I 100% agree. All of these are individual events. I actually know this great place that is 3 of these in one.
Jeez. Hear me
Let's go
out. Hear me
to
out.
Eaton Park. Fucking awesome. All right. Cool. Let's what do you want to do?
I would like for Greg to have to tell us what we're gonna do.
Whoa!
I feel like we always decide.
That is true. I always do make you guys decide because I'm not good when it comes to making decisions, as that has been made very, very clear to me. So I don't know. This might not go well because I could just ramble on and on.
Yeah, but Greg, you
perhaps.
sent us the topics, you know?
Technically, that was just off the top of my head. I didn't
Okay.
necessarily mean for them to be topics. Perhaps like if I did want to discuss about how ridiculous this Michigan thing is, like
Cool.
we could.
Michigan, Josh. We're going to Michigan.
Oh, jeez.
All right, hear me out.
Not
Go
letting
ahead.
those
If
bit.
you're not cheating, you're not trying. I'm just saying.
There's, I mean, everyone's doing it is the thing. The problem is
You
they got caught.
You just described the steroid era of baseball, so good on you, Josh.
And just all of hockey in general. I don't think enough credit is being given to Kirby Smart for his comments on the matter, where he said nothing in the game they played against Michigan would have suggested that they had their signals.
Wow,
That's an awesome statement.
It's just
it is.
an absolute fucking dunk on Michigan, and I love it.
Dude,
What
oh
I
my
lo-
gosh.
what I love about it is like all the now like details that have been coming out ever since. Like first you find out that the guy's like a former
Colin
Army Reserve
Stallion
guy.
or something like that.
Yeah, great name by the way. He's a former like Army Ranger.
Yep.
He bought tickets to like every Big Ten home game or something, or like a home game for all 11 Big Ten teams. He like also apparently bought tickets to other like non-conference opponent games to do this as well. So, and I personally think this whole thing is just absurd, and I think it's just them trying to find ways to screw Michigan, especially because like Harbaugh already got caught for giving a kid a cheeseburger on a recruiting trip. So now
Do
apparently
you think
he's
this is a
bad
witch
guy.
hunt?
Apparently, yeah.
No. You think this is a witch hunt?
Yes, I do.
It's not a
Okay.
witch
Why?
Like this is some of the dumbest things that you could possibly like try to get like beaten over the head with. Like this is getting so much unnecessary coverage, in my opinion.
I'm so confused right now. You believe that Michigan should be allowed to fly people to games to record signs to steal? Just
Was it
legally?
actually was it actually proven that they were recording signs, or were they just
Greg.
like watch?
Greg,
Greg,
he got
Greg,
caught, dude.
Greg, he got caught recording. There is photographic evidence of them holding a laminated sheet on the sidelines with the opposing team's hand signals in it. I'm not making this shit up. This is real.
Dude, a Michigan coach bought tickets minutes before a game and transferred them right over to Stallion. Like, it's the only person not touching this guy is Harbaugh. And you know he was fucking touching this guy all over.
And the guy who is like receiving the signals is standing next to the OC and the DC depending on who has the ball. In these pictures. The guy with the laminated sheet is standing next to the OC and the DC on the sideline.
And
depending on who has the ball.
Wow.
You think that Michigan
This is a witch hunt, Derek.
da bella da ball.
That's at least 4 Office references. So far in the show.
Come on,
Oh my
Greg.
God.
At least tell us you don't know about the story. Don't.
No,
you
I
silly
just think
goose.
like if we're comparing this to like other like scandals that have occurred in college football or
What,
any
buying
other
hookers for your fucking recruits? Is that what you're talking about, Greg?
What? Penn
Well, if you wanna go
State,
down-
Greg.
Yeah. Oh, that's even like the worst of the worst. Don't
Technically,
get
that
me
had nothing
started.
to do with football. I
So
just
you-
want to
you
point that
believe-
out. They weren't cheating at football.
That was institutional failure, Josh, is what that was.
And it
That's
was-
what you
yeah,
categorize that as.
They were
They
being
were-
successful at football during that time, though.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. So
They were
I guess
successful at
Greg,
other things,
I
too.
need you to paint me a picture of why this is okay.
I feel like
Fair question.
I agree. It's just for me,
Yeah.
like there's been talk for years about teams, or even like I can't imagine other schools do not try to find ways to at least like get an understanding or try to cheat the system and try to figure out like what they're trying to call in the sidelines. Even Deion Sanders said it best: just because you might know what it is, you still got to stop it. So just, you got to be able to do that. And then for all you know, they could easily change up hand signals or signs. Like it's not a season long thing. Like they could change them up like during the week.
Greg, it was the game before each of the games, and if they did change them, Michigan's win streak during this entire thing is immaculate. There's no way they just don't beat Ohio State back-to-back years. That's really what came down to. And I think I don't know what I was talking about, but the other side of it though is the reason it's illegal, because technically it shouldn't be illegal. The reason it's illegal is because there are schools without the funding to fly people and buy tickets, hotels, drinks. Like this is not something every school can do. So when everyone's like, "Oh, everyone's doing it," I don't believe any school in the MAC can afford to fly a fucking ex-Army Ranger to a weekend in Illinois to
Why
watch
is
two
he an
random
ex-Army
teams.
Ranger? What-
I don't
Because that,
know.
that
What's
means
the
he's
point of
that,
that
that
part?
means
That's
means
the
he's
Harbaugh part of
disciplined.
this. That's how
that
you
means
know
he's
Harbaugh's.
disciplined. He knows how to get information, and he'll do anything in his
Facts.
power to either stay quiet or just try to get the info you need.
That was
He
like
takes orders well.
they were like
takes orders
sitting around the table, right? And somebody's like, "Well, we should just pay somebody to steal signs." And Jim Harbaugh's like, "It has to be an ex-Army Ranger."
I want it to be way cooler.
He was just like, "I don't trust anybody unless they've served." That's
I think Harbaugh gets. I mean, maybe there's no paper trail to him. What has he always done in his career? He shows up, puts up a carnival, is there for a few years, and leaves. He's been at Michigan longer than I expected. I think he's done.
It's always a damn good carnival, in fairness.
It is
just
always.
saying.
And wouldn't it be just perfect if they make the championship game this year and lose, just like it was in San Francisco, and then he just off.
I
to the
almost want
Bears?
Michigan to win,
That's the crazy thing is this is the
and then he just
this
goes.
is the best. This is the best chance that Michigan's probably had to win a natty this year. Actually, if you
I-
look at the way the college football set, this is their best chance.
I still
Well,
think Georgia dicks them down.
It's probably because they cheated.
Yeah, I think.
will-
Yeah, it's silly, and it's only Harbaugh level silly. Like that's
Yep.
the only person capable of such ridiculousness. Maybe. Who
I was gonna say, but there's definitely some weird college football coaches in our lifetime that
No,
could do some dumb shit like this.
Oh, he passed away. Smalls' fake dad.
Mike Leach.
Mike Leach.
Oh, Mike.
Mike Leach. Here's a Mike Leach story. Waz State played Wyoming when they had Minshew. They put up 70 on them in Wyoming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leach, who went to Wyoming, is from Wyoming, wanted to talk to the team after the game. The Wyoming team.
God,
He wanted
that's so
to
cool.
give them an
Why?
inspirational speech.
Because they dicked him down.
Oh. Wow.
I love
Ooh.
that.
Right.
Um,
Anyway.
bad optics, but I don't know if that's like I can't
Great
tell if he's
optics.
trying to be. I can't tell if he's trying to be like a good, honorable guy.
No, he
or
was.
just,
Like that's just that's he didn't
Just the kind of guy he was.
Yeah.
just very like over the yeah. Okay.
Craig
Interesting.
Bull telling that story is fucking electric because he just I guess Craig just like he because he comes up and he's all Mike Leach, right? He's like looking at the floor, he's like, yeah, but Craig, let me talk to the boys, I want to let them know that it's gonna get better, and he just looked at him, he's like, Mike, not now.
Yeah, dude. Imagine trying to talk to someone else's team. That'd be
Oh, it's so
crazy.
fucking funny.
Oh god.
Anyway,
Mm. I
um,
mean, I would also imagine Urban Meyer's probably done some dumb shit like this. That would.
well,
I
this Urban Meyer
There's
did
been a
what
murder.
is like if you take this and then you also add the Penn State shit and you married them, that's what Urban Meyer has gotten away with. And also faking his own illness. I watched all of that fucking Swamp Kings documentary on the
I didn't
plane.
start it.
I haven't watched it yet.
It is brutal how they whitewash everything.
Bro, they don't talk about a single arrest.
They
A
just say
single.
that a lot of people were having problems with the law. Is how
Yeah.
they phrase it in the documentary.
They had like 50
That's how
arrests.
In
That's
one
how I
season?
know Tim. That's how I know Tim Tebow was involved in the project because there's no way he would have gone into detail about any of that
Oh,
shit.
and you want to talk about who comes out smelling like roses? Like legitimately, like halfway through, I'm like, you know what? Tebow didn't get a fair shake, and then in my head, like, yes, he did. He sucked. He sucked at
He got
playing
multiple
quarterback.
fair shakes.
Oh god.
It's just
Which,
fucking
by the way,
incredible.
speaking of Tebow, did you guys see like any? I don't know who made the quote or something. I think it actually might have been Colin Cowherd, but he said something about how like this Steelers team reminds him of the Tim Tebow Broncos.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I hate
About
that.
Yeah, it was like they hang around, and then somehow, some way, they find a way to win in the end. Like essentially comparing Kenny Pickett to Tim Tebow, that's a slap in the fucking face if I've
Yeah,
ever
'cause
heard one.
Tim Tebow wasn't fucking audibling out of
Damn. Is that a stroke?
I know.
Tasty McTasty face got to him real
Oh
quick.
my
I see.
gosh.
Tim Tebow wasn't audibling out of bad calls into good calls to score touchdowns to win games. Okay, I'm just
Hail
throwing that
Demarius,
out there.
baby. Hail Demarius.
Wow.
Anyway.
Heartbreaking.
So what do we think? Does
Michigan.
Michigan miss the playoffs because the NCAA says they're not qualifying for it? Like they're not allowed to
Not
qualify.
this year. Not this year, simply because NCAA investigations take like 3 years,
Yeah.
and that's like with everyone in the NCAA actually being honorable while
Yep.
doing the investigation, which is another
Good
big
luck.
thing. So yeah, by the time this actually becomes a thing, like Harbaugh would have been like in his second season on an NFL team by then.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
no way.
I
No
agree
way.
with
Alright.
it.
And do they get the death penalty, as Greg said?
That's an interesting one because they want to be made an example of is a massive thing here in my opinion, and they have to. This is one of the few things. So we know everyone cheats. We knew everyone was giving college kids money, right? When you find one that there's a trail and you find one that there's evidence, you need to snatch it up and make an example of it because everyone might be doing this, Greg. Not everyone's getting caught, and they caught the big house.
They did. I think the hindsight being 2020, definitely the death penalty will probably not happen. I don't think the death penalty will ever happen again, actually. Based on think about some of the stuff. Like Tennessee had every single recruiting violation possible happen. Miami had one of the greatest like scandals that you could possibly see, and that never happened. Penn State didn't get the death penalty.
Yes, they
from
did.
Their stuff.
Yes, they did.
That was not the death penalty.
They got 5 years where they couldn't give scholarships.
That's not the death penalty.
Death penalty is they get shut down.
For a year. Like
That's-
you
that's
could like
the
no.
SMU.
Is that what happened to SMU? They got shut down for a year.
Yeah, they
And
got
all
shut
the
down for a year.
sanctions, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
okay.
Everything. Like that killed the program, essentially.
okay.
So based on that, I don't think we ever see the death penalty because I think the NCAA will never ever want to see that happen again because I think with SMU they realized that killed a program in a huge market that would be a major player still today if that never happened. And plus, think about it, like if paying kids is now becoming the norm because of NIL and everything else like that, like what are the biggest possible violations that you could give someone the death penalty for? You know, like it's going to be such a hard thing to
Stealing
one prove
signs.
and two find a paper trail to do it. What?
Stealing signs is a pretty big one, Greg.
But I think he's
Yeah.
saying if the kids are getting paid somewhere else, what's like they don't need scholarship. So
True.
what's like the death? But I disagree there. They're still all on full ride. I would guarantee that. And if you take away scholarship and guys can still go get paid, I guarantee they have some interworking where they shut down some version of booster NIL portion of money. The player can still get it, but I guarantee the NCAA has the right to do that. Some
Yeah,
clause somewhere.
the school cannot give or some. Yeah, there's some
Cannot
school
roster
can't be,
NIL based
right,
players or
right,
something like
right,
that.
yeah.
So like
Yeah.
you can come play here.
Ooh, that's a good one. The
Yeah, you can
school
come play here, but
cannot
you can't make a certain
roster
amount of money.
NIL players.
That's fat. I don't know how you do that because you essentially because a lot of NIL money. I mean, it's reported through the university, I guess. So like you would have
It's
to
public.
like.
Yeah,
It's all
It's
public.
true.
it has to be. That's part of the deal.
Wow. Yeah, that would have to be like the next like big sanction or big like punishment. Potentially for-
That's not a slap
interesting.
on the wrist though. That's a fuck you. You're done.
Yeah. I mean, there's only program that would actually still thrive the same way as Clemson because they believe in the name, image, and likeness of God.
Oh boy.
Maybe Notre Dame.
Well, did you see that,
Well,
Josh?
No.
Dabo Sweeney said the only name, image, and likeness I know is his.
Oh shit.
And that's he doesn't have NIL athletes. That's
Yeah.
why DJ Aguilar transferred.
And that's why they're going to be 8-4 for years to come, the rest of the way, and never get over that hump again.
And probably Notre Dame too, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. Although, like Notre Dame will like stick around. Notre Dame will have 1 year.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
Catholic
they'll have,
Church
they,
has been paying people
they-
forever.
they'll have the
Yep.
occasional like 11-1, 10-2 years that like everyone says how good they are, and they'll sneak into the playoff. And
You
all
mean
that.
like
You
this
know how
year?
that-
Yep.
They're not getting in the playoffs. Shut up.
Is Greg picking the rest of the show?
No.
Okay.
Josh, you get to pick now. I don't trust Greg. He always does some theatrical shit.
We did pretty good there. We did pretty good.
Theatrical. How dare you?
Greg,
Just because I like to use my hands. Come on. I don't know.
You
What's wrong
started it
that?
with I may not pick a topic.
I was leading you along, you know, like showing some breadcrumbs out there. See what I can get.
All right. Let's do this then. Okay, so last week.
Hmm.
Little
Or
throwback.
Yeah, last
Oh.
week.
Fun. What a time.
So, Derek, you are now 20-19 with a 51%, and I just want to congratulate you for going up 10% from last week. You went from
Holy
41 to
shit.
51.
Wow.
You only missed one game last week. Unfortunately, Greg also jumped 10% and went from 44
Shocker.
to 54.
Say
I
thank you.
picked some of those games first, so I'm sorry. I'm not.
Actually, Greg, it's funny that you bring that up because the game that you did pick first,
Oh, shit.
you lost. And so
Fuck.
That's
Fuck.
awesome.
I'm really mad. I'm really mad he had that on cue.
yeah,
So bad.
so-
He knew you were going to talk that
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Damn it.
So
Even Josh knows me too well.
this week is kind of like there's not a lot of ranked opponents playing each other. There's not a lot of like high stakes games.
Yeah.
So we only have 3. So let's just do that and then we'll take a break. Sound good?
Cool. Hell yeah.
All right.
Kind of a Met week, which is not bad for college football for the record, but you know.
It's not a meh week if people start to get tripped up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which some people did start getting tripped up last week in
Right.
fairness. So
Like Oklahoma's in a trip up spot right now. There was somebody else I saw that's in a trip. Oh, Texas is in a trip up spot.
USC's in a spiral.
USC is
Mhm.
done.
Yeah. Caleb Williams is Audi 500.
just
But-
like Cam Rising, officially done. Confirmed, yeah, as of last week.
Oh,
Was it?
Really?
I didn't even see that.
And
Mhm.
Utah
Yeah,
keeps fucking winning anyway. They're on their third string
Amazing.
quarterback.
it's amazing.
Okay.
Crazy, dude.
This game does have a lot still at stake. Louisville and Duke, number 20 Duke visits Louisville. Louisville is ranked 18th. They have the same exact record at, I think it's like 7-1. Louisville is a 4.5 point favorite. The over-under is set at 46.5. Greg,
Mm,
there's a lot at stake here. This is
Yeah.
you're fighting for a college football playoff berth pretty much between these two teams at this point.
no, you're fighting for an ACC championship game bid at this point
Yep.
between those two. Because you're in contention with North Carolina for probably the second spot. Because first one's going to go to Florida State more than likely.
And North Carolina has a loss as well.
So
They
Duke
do.
has 2 losses, just to confirm.
Okay, so then does Louisville have 2 or yes?
No,
they
Louisville's 6-1.
Okay, 6-1.
Duke's
All
5-2.
right, thank you.
Yeah, but the other side of that is Duke would be 6-1 if
Well-
Riley Leonard didn't get hurt.
Well, Deke, one of those losses I think was Notre Dame, so that doesn't count towards their conference. So I think they're still in contention for the other bid. Then they're tied at that point.
Oh, I bet he's right.
Yeah. So
I-
3-1 in conference. The Devils are 2-1 in conference.
Oh, there you go.
So
Okay.
So if I recall, like last week was interesting because Riley Leonard's still banged up. They were doing like a 2 quarterback system with I don't even remember who the other guy was, but I was surprised.
gosh.
I was surprised they were doing that. Louisville needs a bounce back game in the worst way, especially because they started off hot, had that bump in Pitt, and then they have a good offense. I really do believe that. So I'm gonna say 4.5. I think Duke will probably keep it close, but I'm still gonna say that Cardinals win outright. Probably win by 5 or 6, maybe like by a touchdown, like late or something. And I think that these two teams will put up points, so I'll give you over on points.
Okay. So you took Louisville in the points and the over.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to make sure.
And it's in
Derek.
Louisville too, so like that's gonna also swing it too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Louisville coming off a terrifying loss. I think if they just walk in and beat Pitt, you're looking at a
Oh.
number 13 ranked, a number 12 ranked Louisville team here.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're really good.
Top 15 easily.
Yeah. Duke for me, they're built off the back of Riley Leonard. I like the team. I didn't really think that they, looked terrible against Florida State. I thought they were good before that, but it's Louisville and the over here. Both teams still have an ability to put up points. I mean, Duke 20, 24, 14, 41 respectively in their last games. Louisville's offense is absolutely electric. I still don't know how they lost to Pitt. But yeah, Louisville and the over for me.
That Pitt game is still.
It's what they do, man. It's what Pitt does. They
It
always
does.
have one game that just is the stinker, like with Clemson or Penn State or whoever it is. Pitt just goes, we're going to win that one game and the rest of it, maybe.
When Florida State came out of the gun and everybody was talking about them, I kept telling everybody at work, wait till they play Pitt. They play Pitt at home this year. I was like, wait till they play Pitt. And
Dude,
then
maybe-
Pitt really sucked. And I was like, maybe not. And then, Pitt got in the way of somebody anyway.
2 weeks, baby. I'll be at that game. God bless on that one.
I'm going to just take Louisville in the points. That's who I
Oh.
have on my little sheet here. I also, just so everybody knows, I have receipts of my picks going out well before the show starts. So I'm just reading off my sheet. I'm not being
Okay.
influenced by certain people, Greg. Okay.
Greg should have to
okay.
send his in from now on.
I agree. Aforementioned Utah at home against number 8 Oregon. The spread is at 6.5 in favor of Oregon. The over/under is at 47.5. Derek, you're up.
47.5.
It's a lot of points. But it's a Pac-12
so
game.
many, dude. I mean, it is a Pac-12 game. Utah has a really good defense. They've put up 34 in the last. I still don't understand how Utah lost Oregon State. I like DJ, but that one pisses me off there. Oregon has been an absolute world beater. The game between Oregon and Washington, I think, put Penix Jr. at the front of the Heisman push,
That
if
was
not
so
anything
awesome.
earlier.
That was
It's
an
unbelievable,
impressive game.
dude.
Impressive game.
Seattle is covered in purple, by the way.
No, I believe it.
Yeah, like
Awesome.
people in Huskies gear fucking everywhere. It was so cool to see.
That's awesome.
It was really cool.
I like Utah a ton, but I think Utah is built the same way that that Michigan is built, which is like Ohio State's built to win a natty, Michigan's built to beat Ohio State. USC's built to win a natty, Utah is built to beat USC. So for that reason alone, I'm going Oregon, and I will take the over. It's a lot of points, but I think both teams have really high impact offenses.
Fair. Greg.
I didn't This is the first time that like, especially this year, that like I've suddenly like realized like how good of a defensive team Oregon is too.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is weird to see because like in the times I've been watching college football, I've never known them to be. So
No, but
I
think about
find,
what they did to Colorado.
yeah, but I think Colorado like
Take
came back
them
down to
down.
earth. That they did, but Colorado was like the game where I think like everyone was like super hyped up for it, and then they realized like there's levels to this, son. And I think that's like what they hit on that one. I'm actually I will go under on the points, and for that 6.5 on the spread. I think Utah will keep it close in some way, just because they'll find a way to. So I'm gonna take the dogs on that one, and I'll go Utah.
Yep.
If
Yep.
you would have said a second straight time of they'll keep it close, but
Yeah.
I was gonna smack it through the computer, but that was a good one.
So something special happens in Utah, particularly at a 2:30 kick, which will be a 1-ish kick for them.
Mm-hmm.
At half, they are always trailing. And then the sun goes down and the lights come on and the totally different team comes out and plays the second half in Utah. Greg, I've been
Read that.
saying it all fucking year. Home dogs run faster. Utah money line, motherfucker.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
And I will take the under. That's a lot of points. It's a fuck ton of
I
points.
feel like you have to take the under if Utah's winning.
Yeah,
Maybe not. Maybe it gets shoot up, but I feel like if they win, it's going to be the under.
yeah, I would say so. That's probably the way to go. Okay. And then Greg, you're up first. I have your beloved Pitt Panthers at Notre Dame, number 14 Notre Dame. The spread is at 20.5, and the over/under is set at 45.5.
Pitt on the dogs on that one easily, because
Pitt to cover.
first
Right.
I don't trust Notre Dame to. I don't trust Notre Dame honestly because they are up and down at so many points. Sam Hartman looks like a Heisman candidate, and then other weeks he doesn't. So I'm not gonna bet on. I wouldn't bet money on them blowing out Pitt because I think Pitt will find a way to keep it close. So Pitt with the underdog. And what's the over under again, Josh? For points?
44.5.
Mm.
So according to this, that means Notre Dame is scoring more than half the points.
What's the line at, Josh?
20.5.
Jesus.
No, Pitt is not losing by 21 in that game. Absolutely not. Yeah, Pitt underdogs, and I'll take the under on points on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's tough because
It
Pitt
is
really
tough.
Pitt against UNC they lost, but it wasn't by 21. You can't paint me a picture. I don't know, but then again, dude, here's my thing. I'm gonna say this out loud, Greg, and you have to accept it as true.
Go ahead.
Pitt needs to lose this game to be able to beat Florida State. And I can't explain it.
Yeah, they don't
they
have
need
two
to
big
get-
games in them.
They need to get destroyed.
Or 3, yeah.
They need to
Yeah.
get absolutely massacred in this game so they can come out in Florida State and then jump everything. So I'll take Notre Dame to cover.
I need the Florida State game to just be a torrential downpour the
But
entire time. I need to
Might
be
be.
miserable. I need to be miserable sitting in the stands with my rain jacket on, drinking
be.
my overpriced Coors Light in the stands and stuff. So, and then just to have any hope of Pitt being able to beat Florida State. So, stranger things have happened, man. I'm just saying, like, I think they play Notre Dame tough all the time. I don't believe Notre Dame has the firepower to beat them by 21. I don't believe it.
I do. And I'll take the under.
Okay.
I have Notre Dame winning 38-0.
I got
Oh my
I'm
God.
just kidding, Greg. 17-0.
I got Notre Dame in the spread as well. All right.
Wow. You two break my heart, man.
No, we don't. We want to win against Florida State. We're real Pitt fans.
I'm not even gonna pretend. I will never bet on Pitt's side ever. I will always take the other team. They could be
terrible
playing the Michigan YMCA, Greg, and I will always take the other team. They could be
Shout out
playing
Michigan
Robert
YMCA.
fucking Morris, and I'll always take the other team.
Oh, bite your tongue.
They
You know
could.
damn well.
They could.
They could play Robert Morris.
They
Tune-up
could.
game.
I actually think they scheduled something for 2027, 2028. Actually,
Sometimes they play Duquesne. I don't know that they've ever played Robert Morris in
I don't think-
football.
I distinctly remember reading something that they scheduled a future matchup with Robert Morris at the Acrisure Stadium in a couple of years. So
Wow.
Pitt
Yeah.
versus Robert Morris football.
I'm curious how much RMU is getting for that. At least like a mil,
lot.
probably.
You
A
think?
lot.
At
The
least.
good thing
yeah.
is they
It's
don't
like-
have to travel anywhere for it, so they don't got to spend the money on everything.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like all that money's
for
gonna go
them.
directly back into the athletic department. Yeah.
They're gonna
that's
make
awesome.
the kids walk to try to save some money.
That's not it. Ooh, that's a bit of a hike, like along Ohio River Boulevard to get there. Unless you want to go through Coraopolis and then McKees
You could,
Rocks.
yeah.
Make it a little fun, perhaps. You never know. It's not bad. It's not a bad idea, actually.
They played in 2011.
Did they really?
Apparently,
Yeah.
what?
But
Robert
well, I know they have
Morris.
I think they have a future date coming up. I thought, but
No, this is basketball. That's what I thought. I was gonna say
Okay.
I would have been there. I would have known that. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, okay. All right, we're gonna take a short commercial song break, and we'll be right back.
She's got to be a vision. She's always been the first to come to mind. I can't make a decision on what to do with her once she is mine. I've got to get closer, closer. I've got to get closer, closer. I got a proposition, one that's sure to save us both some time. Why don't you come home with me? Maybe then you will see I got just what you say you need. I don't know if you came here alone. Tell you're right, find another way home. 'Cause you're coming home alone with me. She doesn't do tradition. She's got a very modern sense of class. I don't do superstition. I'll keep my fingers crossed that I make this last. I've got to get closer, closer. I've got to get closer, closer. I got a proposition, one that's sure to keep things moving fast. Why don't you come home with me? Maybe then you will see I got just what you say you need. I don't know if you came here alone. Tell you're right, find another way home. 'Cause you're coming home alone with me.
That was instead of sleeping. I don't remember what song it is. Sorry, guys. Anyway,
that's okay.
Greg,
Hmm.
you're gonna need to get down on your hands and knees for the next segment.
Hang on. Thankfully, there's carpet.
Don't
under here,
actually get
so-
down on your hands and knees, Greg. Jesus Christ.
Well, okay. What's up?
Greg, you maybe had the most brutal, wrong, and just otherwise like incredibly incorrect predictions for the MLB playoffs.
Yeah, you sucked.
Well,
You didn't even
here
get.
I'll say.
I don't think you got one thing right.
I did say that Houston and Texas would play each other in the ALCS.
Okay, so you got one.
I
I don't believe that you said that. I
did.
need Josh to
I
pull up
did.
the
I
stats.
did.
But why would I
I
trust
did.
you? Why would I
I
trust
did.
you?
I did. I got the Diamondbacks one wrong because I thought the Dodgers would at least be competitive, but they weren't. I said whoever would win the Braves and Phillies series would be my pick to win the World Series, and that did not happen. So I would say 1 out of 4 actually isn't too bad.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be the baseball guy.
Also, if
I'm
you
wrong
went
sometimes.
1 for 4 in your college football picks on any given week, you would really feel bad about yourself.
We
Yeah,
make
but one
fun
for-
of you.
Yeah, but 1 for 4 in baseball is a 250 average, which actually is respectable. So
Yeah, but you only got
I don't
four
like how
at-bats,
quickly he
which
did that.
sucks. Well, it's because it's. Can you not do that, math? 1 out of 4, 25%. I don't think he did it that fast, too. He kind of did it on a very average speed. I'm just glad it's not fucking Philly and the Astros. I hate them both. I wish both teams would just get sent to the moon. I'm tired of them. The only good thing Philly did was clap for Trey Turner.
I'm so heartbroken by just how big of a letdown the Phillies were. Like
Are
I
you?
was I am, man. I watched some of those games and I just I thought for sure that Phillies lineup was just too good.
Yeah.
Way too good to lose to the Diamondbacks of all fucking teams. A team that, by the way, a team that had been in rebuilding mode for about 5 years, I would say. And then this is the first season they've made the playoffs in a while. They got a young superstar emerging in Corbin Carroll, who's only 22, I think. Because he was
Damn.
drafted. Yeah, so he's like very, very young. And then I don't know what the fuck happened. Like I cannot believe they just slaughter them their first 2 games.
Yep.
NLCS. They go to Arizona, whatever. They take one. That's all you need. And then I saw the stat that their top 4 hitters went 1 for 17 in Game 6 and Game 7.
Jesus.
You cannot have that happen in the NLCS. Not in games where you can potentially clinch a spot in the World Series for that club. I am blown away by how bad that team performed in Game 6 and Game 7 for them. The Rangers one, I'm not honestly. So far of the year, the Rangers were a very good team. They really, really were. Their pitching is still kind of iffy because Scherzer just doesn't look like Scherzer anymore.
Yeah.
But that lineup is still solid enough to be able to put up runs. Adolis Garcia is a stud on that team, and
That's fair.
Simeon, Seager, and Jung, they're all very, very good hitters. So I'm still expecting them to perform, but I'm just blown away by how bad the Phillies did.
He did
this
go 1 for
series.
4. I just checked it.
Good job for you too, Josh. What was the most surprising team that didn't go through? Was it the Dodgers getting swept? Was it Braves to Phillies? Was it Phillies blowing it like a bunch of fucks? Was it the Houston Astros blowing it? What was the one where you looked at, Greg, in this postseason and you were like, oh shit, that shouldn't have happened, but it did?
Probably the Braves, because the Braves had the 2 favorites to win the MVP this year for the National League in Acuna and Matt Olson. Yeah, they both put up incredible seasons this year. Their pitching they had 2 good starters and the rest was kind of hanging on a little bit, but still there's 2 starters are better than a lot of the staffs that came into the playoffs though. So hindsight being 2020, I'm not surprised they lost to the Phillies. Honestly, because they play each other tough. But still, that Braves team, that lineup was just scary good all season. And then not getting to the NLCS is a huge disappointment. So I would say that's the biggest shocker for me so far in the playoffs.
That's a really well done answer. Very proud of you.
And by the way, something I did want to point out as well with regards to this World Series between Texas and Arizona. There's been this kind of narrative that I've seen about how people aren't going to watch the game because it's Texas and Arizona and it's not a big club that's in it or has a big fan base or whatever. I find that ridiculous that if you've watched any of the playoffs at all this year and you've seen kind of the drama and the fact that both championship series went to game sevens, you could tell these two teams are good. They're very, very good. Like the Diamondbacks win with small ball and pitching, which yeah, it's not sexy, but like it still gets the job
Yeah.
done. And the Rangers are a team that just puts up runs galore. So at least if you want offense, you'll have that. So I think this will be a very good World Series. And if you don't at least watch one of the games, then what does that say about you as a baseball fan, in my opinion?
Says you suck. Yeah, I have a buddy that's like, well, I'm not watching it now. The two big teams aren't in it. And I was like, that's literally, as a fan who does not watch baseball, that is the one reason I might watch the World Series, is because I don't have to watch the Phillies and Astros potentially win. It's two new teams.
Yeah, like think about it. Like, would you watch the Super Bowl if it was one of the smallest markets like in it? Like if it was
Greg, I'd watch the Super Bowl no matter
Right.
who's in it. It's
Yeah.
not a really good.
Yeah,
But
it
that's
could be
what I'm-
sponsored. It could be sponsored by some pretty gnarly people, and I'd
Right.
still
I
be
know,
like,
but,
oh,
like,
you know, it's in
if
between the
it's-
commercials.
like if it's Jacksonville versus
Oh, don't get me hard watching Doug Peterson in a Super Bowl.
I'm just thinking about all the big cat facts I would have before that game.
So many. They
What
call
if-
Blake
So
Bortles
many.
back.
Yeah.
What if
Oh,
it was-
he
what if-
comes back to like run them out of the tunnel.
That's
Oh,
Blake
man.
Bortles music. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Paca.
I'm just saying, if it was like Jacksonville versus Carolina in the Super Bowl, we would still watch it. You know, like if it was,
But
if
that's
it was
also
the-
one game. The World Series is 7. Ugh.
it's a commitment. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. What if you watched? What if it was the NBA Finals and it was like Indiana versus Sacramento? Would you watch it?
jerk Sacramento off every show.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Light the beam. You guys called me not. I don't know if you did, Josh, but Greg, you told me that I was basically being not fun because I hated Light the Beam. You would
That's
watch
true.
it.
I did call you out for that in Nashville last year.
If I had to watch a Detroit Pistons Clippers NBA final, I might not watch it.
Oh.
Really? Okay.
The Pistons have one player that's even.
I guess we're
relevant.
talking about
Yeah.
current teams. True. I was like,
Yes.
I don't know, man. Pistons in the. They
You
were
don't
pretty
wanna watch
sick.
Josh
Wait,
goes,
wait,
you don't
you
know
don't-
about Big Shot.
Yeah.
Bullets?"
Wait. You don't want to watch the big three of Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George in the NBA Finals? No.
I'm pretty sure last week on this show
you.
I asked whether or not the
Thank you,
Clippers
Josh.
were seaworthy, as it were.
And Derek said he hates them.
That's true. And we decided that they weren't.
Good stickball.
That's fun. Okay, so that was stickball. I have a draft idea, unless you have another idea for a game or another topic you wanted to do.
I was gonna talk Stillers.
Oh,
Get a 10-minute Stiller segment.
let's
and
talk
then
about
You-
them
you-
Stillers.
You just completely forgot about your draft and was like, wait, black and gold, terrible towels, Matt Canada, I'm in.
Well, you almost had us.
Yeah,
that
that part
episode-
really. I had like raging hard boner. I went from like
Flaccid.
6 to midnight real quick, and then right
Straight
back
flaccid.
That was
down.
quick. That was quick.
So in regards to the Steelers, 3 kind of takeaways from last week's game. So I was listening to it. One, you can't look at this team and not tell me Mike Tomlin's not one of the greatest coaches ever.
Oh, cool.
One,
The year Duck Hodges got them like 4 wins is
Yeah, he
proof
did.
enough that they're an elite coach. Like, come on.
2, I genuinely think that our offense is somehow somewhat figuring it out by the pure athleticism alone. Because Najee and Warren actually not being terrible, Deontay back, George Pickens being an absolute freak for the 3rd straight. Like athleticism alone, they're doing something.
This was the best that their running game had looked all season. And it just seemed like Najee was, instead of trying to bounce around, he was just going straight.
Yep.
If that makes
And-
sense.
3 and last, Dre said this, and it's off the heels of a conversation we were having, but he said he believes the only reason that we're playing Dan Moore is so we could try to trade him. I loved that take, 'cause there's no other reason
Something
Dan
going
Moore should
on
be playing
there.
ahead of Broderick Jones. We're playing Dan Moore so people can see him so we can trade him.
Sure.
I think he's a free I think he's a free agent after this year, so I don't know if that logic still would apply. So
Well, but no, whoa,
maybe.
why
That's
wouldn't
hockey
we-
logic.
no,
You
no.
trade him now. You can't sign him next year. You don't
Yeah.
want him. You trade him
Greg,
now.
Oh,
we should
okay.
trade Dan Moore at the trade deadline because he's gone next year. And he won't be back.
Okay. I was thinking more like after the season. Got you.
no,
That
my
makes
good
sense.
man.
That's
Oh,
okay.
no.
Got you. Okay.
So those are
Um,
my 3 thoughts.
Interesting. I mean, I was kind of hoping that like after this season we cut bait with Chooks and moved Dan over to right tackle and put Broderick at left. That was like my
Well,
like
In your
ideal
defense,
situation.
we
but
haven't dealt him yet. That's just the letters I've been writing.
It's interesting. It's some interesting letters. I'll give you that. Excellent penmanship. It's noteworthy. I'll give you that.
You didn't write
Um,
down my letters.
So sue me. Sorry. Um,
It's because he never got any fucking dirt.
Somebody.
Sorry, keep
yeah.
going.
So from watching this game, and first of all, I'm gonna say this. I don't care if any other Yins or disagrees with me, but Kenny did not get that first down. I'm sorry.
Well, no, here's
Kenny
why
did
he
not get that first
No,
down.
Greg,
but
because
he
you,
did not.
unlike Josh and I, are not a student of the game to know that that yellow line is a suggestion. That is not the actual
Oh.
line. That yellow line is not the official line, Greg. That is for us idiots at home to look at and go, they got it or not. That is not the official line. The official
All right.
line, I think he got it because he did.
That was damn, dude. Like even watching the replay and like just seeing him get stuffed at that one point, I did not believe it. I really did not believe he got it. But
I don't think he did either. But
You know who did get a first down, and
No.
because I didn't get to watch the game because I was stuck or I was in the woods somewhere. That
Seattle?
Deontay Johnson first down.
Mm,
Not only was it amazing and great, and you felt good for him, but Tomlin's reaction said it all.
Yep.
He was all of Steelers Nation on that one, where he was just like, "Yeah, he's back. Yeah, he's back. Y'all thought you had us. Oh, we got 2 fucking receivers again. Suck a dick."
Did you see Tomlin like kind of like when Akilla Witherspoon got flagged for the pass interference call and he walked up to him and was like, "You can't do that."
oh my gosh.
Tomlin, the older he gets, the more out of pocket he gets, and that's
Yep.
It all started to change when he tried to trip what's his nuts on the kick return.
Jacoby
Jacoby
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, that was electric.
But that was, I mean, that's, you know, like you said, they're figuring it out through their athleticism. But like,
Yep.
if
Yep.
Deontay Johnson is like, "Yeah, let's roll," like, fuck.
Dude, he looked good.
And then
Yeah.
if Freiermuth can come back healthy,
I want to figure out like why in the world can they not get any other tight end like going in the game?
Why did we
whatsoever?
draft Washington if we're not going to try?
I don't know.
Yeah, or they're not even using Connor Hayward effectively in the past game. Like
He had
I don't.
3 catches or something.
He's
last game that
he's
weren't
at least
terrible, but-
getting targets though.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Washington's
I'll give
not.
you that. And like, and don't get me wrong, like Washington's definitely a good run blocker and stuff like that, but dude's had some moments like in Georgia games where he like made some fools look stupid.
It should.
Yeah,
we
that's
should
fair.
have an Aaron Hernandez Gronkowski situation where it's like, yeah, throw to either one. It doesn't matter.
Should. And
Should.
It's exhausting that we don't.
Should, but we don't. And that was probably a bad idea to say that. But I just watched Swamp King, so sorry, everybody.
Hey man, it's okay. That in fairness, like in terms of just game aspect, that was the best tight end duo probably you will ever see.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. We should have at least poor man's version of that, if not a very reputable version of that. And we don't, and it's upsetting.
You'd hope so.
Do
Mhm.
you think? Let's put our tinfoil hats on. Has Tomlin given Kenny the green light to just ignore Canada?
Dude, it's an interesting thought. It's definitely
Thank
there
you,
because
Greg. It's a tin hat. Can is tin.
it's aluminum.
It is.
Oh, it's aluminum. All right,
It's
close enough.
metal. It's metal. Whatever.
Yeah.
Is
close
it?
enough.
Should we check the website? Yeah, no. I think that the audibles have looked terrific, and I would be in absolute furies if anything changed because it's the only thing giving me hope.
Yeah, like because he wasn't doing that up to that Ravens game.
No.
And then he started doing it, and
the Ravens game, you can dissect that whole thing to no end because obviously that wasn't the play that was called. We know it wasn't, and Canada's reaction was so disgusting.
Yeah,
that
that's
you're
a tough
just
one
like,
because they were
what are we
talking about that
doing?
reaction and saying that it might be that. So if he called the audible, the reaction was just because he had to sit through a stadium of people saying "Fire Canada." But I also, if he's reacting that way to that, he's a beta piece of shit. I would be
Yeah.
up. I would be screaming.
I'd be like, that's my fucking boy. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Or even if like something bad happened, like remember the dude in Buffalo that after they was it Ken Dorsey who like after he lost the game like on like a bad like spike or something, he just like tossed the ThinkPad in the booth after the fact. At least
Oh,
show me
yeah.
that type of passion.
Yeah, I just that and now that it's happened multiple times where Kenny has audibled into winning plays. Where did that conversation happen? Was that Tomlin? Was that the quarterback's
Yeah.
coach? Who gave him that green light? Or is it that he was always given that green light? He just feels comfortable enough now to make those decisions.
That's what I'm leaning towards in the situation because like we forget this is only his second season as
And
a
first full
quarterback.
year as a starter.
Right. So like I imagine there's like with any new quarterback, there's growing pains and a learning curve and getting confidence to be able to do all that effectively. Because I imagine like I imagine most quarterbacks aren't going to have the courage like within the first half of any season to be able to change plays at the huddle or get the
Yeah.
confidence needed. Like, that's something you have to get over time, if anything. So I would say it's just like understanding defenses better and knowing what they're giving you and then realizing that hey I can do this, and I think that's more so what it was instead of like being restricted from doing it.
I think you're right with the exception of, and this isn't fair because we're talking about two of the greatest quarterbacks ever and arguably the greatest mind to play quarterback. Peyton Manning and Ben were checking out of shit from day one.
Fair. Now
Yeah.
Ben might not have been day one because he had a really fucking good situation around him.
That's
He
true.
did. He
But-
did. He did.
Good point.
Peyton had a horrible rookie season his first year, but
He probably
did learn a
shouldn't
lot.
have checked into stuff. Yeah.
Yes, but he learned from it, which was the important thing.
I can't remember what podcast, maybe it was Pardon My Take. He was on and he talked about how he was encouraged to, the reason he got so good at it was because his rookie year, they just let him do it. They
See,
let
that's
him get
awesome.
to the line and check out his stuff and learn and make mistakes. And he says that that's why quarterbacks now can't progress the way that they did in his era because they're not being allowed to make mistakes.
I love that. Good for him.
That's interesting. I'm curious if like there's any quarterbacks nowadays that like we can point out right away of being like, hey, these guys, this guy's clearly making mistakes, but he's getting better at it. If that makes sense.
And the
Like
last
maybe
pro-ready
some-
quarterback was like Andrew Luck in terms of what we consider an old pro-ready. Like Joe Burrow, maybe.
Yeah, but he tore his ACL though, so like we never got to see like what he would have done for a full season his first year anyway.
No, facts,
Yeah.
but I'm saying quarterbacks that we trust the way we trusted Peyton.
Right.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. There hasn't been that many quarterbacks that like you look at right away that you're kind of like I believe in this guy, or like I know this guy's gonna be really good.
You know what? And this is just this is the Big Ben situation where Tommy Gunn goes down and they just turn and hand the ball to the kid because they didn't have another option. Kind of Brock Purdy.
Fair.
Very fair, because yeah, when Ben was a rookie, he had Willie Parker, he had Jerome Bettis, he had Plax, he had Hines, he had Antoine Randall, he had
That
all
defense, that line.
he had a great defense, a solid offensive line. Like
15-1.
Ben was in a great 15-1. Yeah, Ben was in an amazing situation. So
The
it's
best.
very much on the Brock Purdy mold if you think about it in that regard.
But
so,
you know, Brock Purdy came in and balled. He was NFL ready immediately. And now is continuing to be NFL ready. But all right.
Yep.
You want to do a draft?
Sure, man.
let's do it.
So, I came up with this idea to do, where the hell is my draft board? Hey, 3-person draft board. To do songs.
Mm.
So here's the scenario.
Okay.
You're about to do a little bit of drinking. And it can be whatever situation you want. It could be alone. It could be with friends. It could be with something else. Whatever. So you're about to do a little bit of drinking. What's that
Mhm.
song you put on to start that little bit of drinking? Does that make sense?
Ooh. Okay.
Now,
Okay.
yeah, there's a lot of scenarios of drinking.
There
Yeah.
is. There is. There's a lot.
I love it.
Mm.
So, I think you give not only, the song, but then maybe give what the situation is on
Oh,
top
for sure.
of it.
You
Yeah,
paint a
yeah,
picture.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I like this. I like this.
Okay. So I, just for shits and giggles, I ran 15 running backs, so we're just gonna go in the order the running
Oh,
backs
Oh my
finished in.
god.
So nobody, it's not gonna be like a snake or anything like that.
Oh my god. That's
yeah.
fun. I like that.
Because fuck it, why not? Okay,
not?
so Greg, you're up first.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Oh, this is a dumb but also obvious one as well. If I'm, because I did this actually a few weeks ago, when I was in Blacksburg, uh, I'm driving through the main street of Blacksburg
You're
with,
driving and drinking, Greg. We don't approve of that.
I was not,
Yeah.
I was not
Skip 'em.
driving, I was not driving, whatever, but
Road soda.
I would say I cracked a roadie in the car, and then I had and then someone in the car tapped into the Bluetooth and started playing Sweet Caroline almost immediately afterwards, and we were singing along with the windows open, just taunting fans as it was going on.
So I'm
I
gonna
would
say Sweet Caroline tailgate.
yes.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna say
Illegal.
Pit fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so funny when we were walking around at ACL and we
Yeah.
passed a tent and there was like a guy doing karaoke for Sweet Caroline and everyone down here just goes ba, and I could not process that.
Yeah, dude. You gotta do
That is the proper way to do it,
I
technically.
didn't get it. I was like, what? Why aren't they chanting which team they cheer for? I don't understand. I think Sweet Carolina tailgate is a 1-1 anywhere in the country. Absolutely. I don't think it matters what team you cheer for. That song just goes with college football and alcohol.
Oh, absolutely.
I love
yes.
that. I love that.
I think I only disagree when they say eat shit pit and Greg gets upset.
Yeah, that's funny.
Those people aren't allowed to say that.
I don't get upset necessarily. I just
No, I'm just protecting you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Deke, you're up.
If you're gonna start the drinking at an event or something, it's always good to start with a game. And a lot of the times there is not somebody that's like, hey, we're doing this or we're doing this, but there is a game based around the song Thunderstruck.
Oh no.
And if
Oh,
you
no.
just play it and you start it, and then after the Thunderstruck, you just point to people. You go, you're up, you're up, you're up, you're up, you're up. Something magical happens
Oh man.
where everyone is now a part of the game.
Yes, it's
Now,
great.
I'm sure that you did this of legal drinking age.
Always.
What game is it? I have no point of reference for
So
this.
if we were
Oh my God.
playing just like, and you were aware, everyone cracks a beer, you play Thunderstruck, and you you chug until you hear thunder, and then it switches to the next person. And so one person gets the guitar solo at about like 7 or 8 thunders in. And so it's funny at a party because like if you're all doing it and just chugging, you're like, oh, he got the solo. But if you're just pointing at people, be like, yo, you're up, you're up, you're up. They go until you hear thunder, and then the next person goes. Full song.
Okay, that
It's a great one.
sounds exhausting and a good way to be fucked up quickly.
First time I did it was at Robert Morris.
Okay, great.
Oh wow.
Yep.
There was a. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I gotta go back and look at the thing. Greg, you're up. You're up.
Oh my god, the running backs.
Hmm.
Yeah, the running back.
The running backs are throwing me off. Oh man. Okay. This one's also slightly dumb, but I would probably say paint a picture for you. It's midnight. It's the Smiling Moose.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
Pop Punk Night.
Oh, I'm
It's
there.
Pop Punk Night.
Dear
It's
Maria.
you hear. No.
Oh, okay.
Midnight. Midnight.
Oh, I forget what
You
that
hear
is.
you hear the first like you just hear the piano being played and it's dun 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 and then you just grab people you're around in a big circle and you just start belting out when I was a young boy
That's a
and
good
then
one.
and then as soon as the chorus just breaks down you just finish chugging your PBR and then you just dance and jump and get all that energy out and then immediately go to the bar for some more PBRs and shots. So
You saved it,
welcome.
but it sounds like that song starts the hugging and singing, whereas Thunderstruck
Yeah,
starts
the drinking.
I like it. I like it. Okay.
I think
No,
that's
I
a,
think
that's a good one though. Black
Yeah, it's a
Parade
good
and
one.
Emo Night. That's a pretty good one.
Black Parade Emo Night, baby.
That's
All
a
right,
good one.
I'm up for my first. This show has had a number of pre-show songs that we would play in the studio.
Very accurate.
My favorite peak of the show, though, was when we would play Reb Theory Hell Yeah before podcasting and drinking. So I'm going to
Uh,
put
shout
Hell
out-
Yeah podcasting.
Shout out BMS, baby.
Yep.
Blue Mountain State. So that's going to be my first one.
That is a good one.
Greg, you're up for two.
I'm up for two. Oh, fuck.
You can swap. We'll swap one. We'll put Deke in between you.
No, that's okay. I'll do the two.
I like it. Hey, give him the two. Give him the two.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do the two. I'll try on this one. Oh man. All right, this one's kind of an easy one, but like if you're just kind of like chilling by yourself or just kind of hanging out. I mean, like the dumbest but also like easiest one is I Drink Alone. Have that playing. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, with nobody else.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
You don't know what that
it
is?
either.
No, it's called I Drink Alone.
George
Yeah.
Thorogood and the Destroyers. I Drink Alone.
Yeah. He has Bad to the Bone? No?
Huh. I've
You
never heard
definitely
this
have
song,
heard
Greg.
of it. Really?
This is the
I
song where
don't-
he says "bad to the bone."
No.
No,
Okay, I
no.
was
It's
gonna
separate.
say.
That's a different song. But like, it's the guy who sings it though.
Greg,
Okay.
I'm just gonna go off of the title and who it is. That's probably a good pick, but I've never heard that song.
Does it get the drinking started at your house, Greg? Buddy Relay?
I don't know. It just kind of like sets the mood. It's like I'm drinking by myself. It just kind of goes hand in hand, you know.
Okay,
Why not?
cool. I like it. I think it's a good pick.
Oh man. And then and then the other one, karaoke night. If
Okay.
I'm not, I might not be the one singing, but if I have a beer in my hand, the one song that I will absolutely sing along to what someone else is doing is Piano Man.
Oh, I thought you were
Mhm.
gonna pick the one that I have seen you sing at karaoke. But you were already pretty drunk at that point, so.
I was very
he
drunk.
doesn't
at that
remember
point,
the
yes.
song.
Yeah, he was up there.
Oh,
Just
the killers. Mr.
had the
Brightside,
mic
yes.
like in a death grip and was
That
just
tracks.
coming out of
Screaming.
my cage and I'm doing
Top
just
of his
fine."
lungs.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just eyes
the river
squeezed
guys
shut.
loved it.
Yeah.
The river gods loved it. Yes.
It was awesome. Deke, you're up.
Yeah. Easy peasy, breezy cover girl. Give me "Beer Never Broke My Heart" by Luke Combs.
What's the situation?
The situation is
Break up?
"Beer Never Broke My Heart" by Luke Combs. Yeah. The situation is this is the most played song on Broadway. This is the most played song for anybody that's with a group of dudes. It's the most played, just like life sucks and there's beer here. So I'm gonna go "Bachelor Party."
Okay.
And I understand there's
Okay,
love
okay.
tied into there, but
oh,
the
bachelor party.
Yeah.
Mm,
Hmm.
I
What
think
the
if it's
fuck
with a
was that
group.
noise, Greg?
What?
You said,
No, I was
you
gonna.
like it?
No, I do. I was saying like it's like beer never broke my heart, but if you're with a group of guys and it's like you having fun and stuff, then it kind of like takes over the bachelor party aspect.
I like that song a lot.
I think it, like, I wish it was better. I don't know how else to describe that. Like, the chorus to me is like kind of weird, and I wish it was more singable. Anyway, that's my hot take
Oh.
on Beer Never Broke My Heart.
That's just no, Greg. Do you know what it is? This is
What?
Appalachian State coming back.
Is it?
boy.
Is that their song?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Fuck
where he's
App
from.
State.
That's
Well,
where
yeah,
he's
yeah.
from.
Luke Combs went there. Yeah.
I didn't
So
realize that.
they carried him on his shoulder, and he sang the song with them in the locker room a few years ago.
All right, that's pretty tight. Josh Allen never comes home. Okay,
I was
I'm
about
up.
to say why would he, but that'd be mad.
Yeah. There's a song or a series of songs or an album. And as we're all pairs of brothers, that when you're drinking with your brother and it's just the two of you, there's some special songs that you might put on to really get the party started. I just want to make sure I'm going to say the right name here. Yeah. So when Jeremiah and I start drinking and it's just the two of us, Everywhere I Go by Hollywood Undead comes on.
Oh my god.
And
Decent song. Decent song.
there's not a safe beer in the house at that point. Yeah. So Everywhere I Go. Okay.
It holds up.
It does.
that really
It's a
does.
fucked
Damn.
up song. It's awesome.
I love Hollywood Undead.
Deke, you're up.
Let's see. I kind of do need a drinking alone song, but I don't want it to be something sad and sappy. I think Greg really hit it home there. Let's go. Damn. I'm gonna what's like a fucking sad and sappy song?
Especially one that you would like drink to, or at least would want you to drink.
Your Piano Man reference is closer to me for the drinking alone, is where I'm thinking.
It's just hammered singing
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
by yourself.
I
Electric.
mean,
I can see it. You're in the apartment in Squirrel Hill. So I can see it in my head. Just like on that big fucking couch, just like wailing.
dude. I mean, it's a great fucking song. I'm gonna do. You know what? Man, really fucking me up. Let's go with. You know what? I am gonna do drinking alone, and I am gonna do a singing one. I'm gonna do "Sweet Child of Mine."
Sweet
I
Child of
fucking-
Mine is
Wow.
what, I
Okay.
kid you
Okay.
not, is what made me think of this draft.
Really? Oh
It
my
was on at
God.
work, and I was like, this is such a great drinking song.
Dude, that's awesome. It's my go-to Guitar Hero song at work if I'm playing during like lunch or something, and it's just fucking holds up.
Man, you have Guitar Hero at work?
It's called Clone
tight.
Hero, but yeah, it's fun.
Nice.
Okay. Drinking alone. All right. That's you just like holding the mop and you're like, she's got a smile. You're just
Yeah.
fucking getting trashed.
I pretend to be all the characters from fucking Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Greg, you're up for your last one.
Oh wow. I had one in mind that's like too similar to a tailgate one, so I'm not gonna take it. But I would be shocked if like neither of you end up taking it, honestly, down the line. So we'll see. I would say. Josh will understand this one a bit more. You're at a concert. There's a specific concert that I'm thinking of in particular.
I love inside jokes. I hope to be a part of one day.
Well, he's
That's got to be 10
I-
at this point. I mean, they have
No,
been
I've
coming
never-
hot and heavy.
I've never seen. No, Josh and I've never seen them together actually. So, but like he will probably know this. It's a certain band has probably the best like mix of like free like in between sets, like in between like band songs. Like if they're the headliner and then they have another band on, like that group, like it's like an eclectic mix. But the one that I would say, like if you're in a pit and
We
you're
don't
getting
have a
ready
beer.
for this band to come on and you have a beer, and I would say Backstreet Boys Tell Me Why comes on, and you just lose your shit and start singing and enjoying life with just a wide array of mix of people before this great band comes on.
So I
And-
want it that way by the Backstreet Boys at a concert.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What band plays this?
A Day to Remember.
I think
Uh,
were they playing it or it was playing in between the bands?
in
plays
between. So
the
like
bands.
Got it.
they have like just this crazy, just eclectic set of songs they play, including System of a Down, Chop Suey, which actually would have been a good one too. But like this one, just like I don't know why, it just like gets me feeling good because
Man.
it's not something I'm expecting to hear. So
I was willing up until that pick to say Greg was probably going to win the draft, and then I just don't understand that, but I bet it's electric.
it is.
All right.
It is, dude.
Sure.
It is.
Deke, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with When You're Taking Shots, You Play Shots by LMFAO and Lil
Yes.
Jon.
Yes.
Yeah, obvious one. Yep.
Yes. Yes. Preferably at a wedding.
Yeah.
It hits a little different at the wedding
Yep.
because you're probably not paying for the shots at the wedding.
No, give me the
And
bottle.
No.
that really, that's when things really can get out of hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Also, a lot of places don't even do shots at weddings, so like you kind of have to improvise a little bit.
Oh, they do now. They do now.
Okay, so I'm up for two. When the first of my amazing godchildren was being born, we threw a pretty epic diaper party out there in Tyanesta, and the song from that weekend was "Life's Been Good" by Joe Walsh, and I was probably the drunkest I've ever been for that many days in a row. So I'm gonna put "Diaper Party" for that one, and then
That's a great choice.
when you're on a boys' golf trip.
Mm.
And you're the first one off the tee box. Maybe you have a nipper and you chug the nipper and then you just step up and "Born in the USA" is
Huh.
playing.
Oh man.
That
I'm into
that's a 10 out of 10 moment if you get to be the first guy off the tee and you fucking drill one to "Born in the USA" and everybody has already started drinking or that is starting the drinking. Pretty good. Pretty good.
America's just flowing through your blood right there.
It's
I love
just-
it.
It's hard to feel more like a dude than just hearing the boss go, "Born in the USA." Deke, you're up for your last one.
I'm gonna go with "You're on a Boat."
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm on a boat.
Yeah,
by Lonely Island.
Been
I'd
there,
like to
done it.
replace one of my early ones with "For When You Just Had Sex."
Yep.
Oh my
no.
god.
Yeah, I'm on a boat. Everyone knows every word to that. It's hilarious. It's funny. It's about pretending that you're fucking rich and famous and on a boat. So, yeah,
But if you do it on an actual boat, it's pretty fucking electric.
it's like playing "I Just Had Sex After Sex."
Yeah.
It's peak.
Mhm.
The tits, as the kids call them.
My "Drinking Alone" song's what I'm gonna end on. Give me "Stick Season" by Noah Kahn.
Nice. So you're
All
sad.
right.
You're a
Oh,
sad
mhm.
guy.
This
Sad
is
boy.
actually allow me to backtrack. I'm just gonna put in "Shower Beer."
Yeah, that way we
That's-
cry.
That's where you
Okay,
are.
That's good.
That's
That's
we
where
can
you
tell we're
are.
crying.
"Stick Season" alone in the shower. Just
I'd
fuck.
probably do "Growing Sideways."
Either one.
Yep.
Orange juice. Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever you want to do.
Fuck me up, daddy.
Homesick. Yeah, I pretty much cried the whole way through his set at ACL. So whichever one you want to pick.
Oh
that.
man.
I believe that.
All right, that was a good draft. We still have 15 minutes left.
I had two other ones that I was considering
Okay,
that
let's
I
hear 'em.
chose to back off of. One was an obvious one. It was like obviously if you're at a Steeler game, Styx, Renegade. Like
Yeah, but that's
You
not
just-
starting the drinking.
I know.
None of
that's-
Greg's songs are starting the drinking.
Yeah.
But the other one,
Oh.
the other one was the other one. Like if the other one was like for like I was at a destination wedding, and the song of choice for that one was "Hooked on a Feeling."
Yep.
Okay.
That's
Destination
that's,
wedding on a beach.
Hooga,
Yeah.
Hooked on a feeling.
Hooga.
As
Ooga,
the
ooga.
reception starts, it's gonna be a long night for the
Oh,
bartenders.
Oh, that was a fun time.
What you do to me?
All right. Do you want to end the show early today?
Doesn't matter. We could come up with another draft and the show. Greg, do you have any draft concepts?
I didn't have any off the top of my head, honestly, so I unfortunately do not. at this
Unprepared as always.
time. I'm just a slacker for everything. What can I say?
What a nerd.
That's
Mhm.
fair.
All right. What do you want to do, Deke?
I don't care, man.
All right. Let's just end it
I
early.
think sounds good to me.
Yeah, right.
Did you have any other ones that you left off, Josh, in terms of situationally? Because when you first thought of this,
Man.
you weren't really thinking situationally.
It was the Sweet Child of Mine one. I just couldn't place where it went. I think that's a 10 out of 10. Something about I don't know. So I did have Hardy and Morgan Wallen have a song called Turn You Down,
Ooh.
which I think
Ooh.
if it was just like you and your buddy or going out, that like you're single and you're
Yeah.
going for it, like that's a good one to pregame
You're
to.
going for it.
Yeah. Also, I obviously have not witnessed this because I'm a professional and definitely was never at the Penn State Hockey House.
Never.
Ever.
No, none
But
whatsoever.
Nickelback's Animals would kick off their parties.
Oh, yeah.
According
Oh,
to
yeah.
legend.
That's a good one.
Right.
That's a good one.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
God, Nickelback used to be so sick.
Yeah. They also the year that My House from Flo Rida came out, that one was a favorite of
Oh.
theirs.
That was an anthem for a while.
Dude,
That's
at
true.
Slippery Rock, it was Ass by Big Sean my freshman year.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to think.
Forgot about that.
We were like the group at the beginning of high school that I hung out with were so fucking nerdy that like
Nice.
I think like it would have been like Muse or like Blur or Oasis. Like just not
Muse
drinking
was like
music.
Yeah, but Muse was
Not
like
drinking.
real big. Muse was real big. I remember like in that like late high school, early college era too.
You listen to
so
like
that sounds
Modest
about right.
Mouse, just drunk as shit.
Yeah, I mean that was
Oh,
like that
man.
would have been far more like there were definitely times that like Snake Farm at Dravo Bicycle Campground gets the people going. I'm just
I don't know
gonna
if I know what's Snake Farm.
Snake Farm just sounds nasty. Snake Farm pretty much is just like this one-off song from this dude you've never fucking heard of that old John would play when we would go out to Dravo, and Dravo was basically an excuse to ride your bike to go get hammered in the woods. And
Nice.
so we would get hammered in the woods, and old John would always play Snake Farm, and that was
Huh.
it's
cool.
It's
That's a moment.
It's a moment, yeah. I was trying to think like we drank in college, but we did not have a normal college. I didn't have a normal college until like my junior year when I met my friends that I have now. Otherwise, I was like really fucking nerdy, and I was just doing TV nerd shit every night, and we didn't really have time to drink because we had to get up to shoot the football game on Saturday morning.
You thought that was super important at that time.
We
huh?
really did. At
Yeah.
5 a.m., motherfucker, we'd be out there
Golly.
grinding it out in the rain and the cold and the snow, and it could have been drinking.
Someone had to do it. In fairness.
Oh, Knock Knock, Mac Miller.
Yep, that's a really good one.
That's a
I
good
was
one to
looking at
get it
Mac's
going.
stuff, trying to think of one because Donald Trump was the one I was thinking of.
That's a great one
but
too.
I like Knock Knock.
Knock Knock was
Yeah.
definitely a number of fancy parties featuring Mike Dawson and Frank Vieira were started
Oh,
by
God.
Knock Knock. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Well, nice. Good shit.
cool. That's it.
Good show, boys. Another wonderful episode of Thoughts from the Bench. Got it.
You did get it. I
You did
I
get
was
it.
like in my head I said 2 beers deep. So
Yeah, no, I just stopped calling it anything and just started saying I do stuff on Thursdays.
there you go. That's good.
Love it.
Good way to do it.
Cool.
All right.
Next week we play on Thursday night.
We do. We do.
Gonna need a lot
That's
more
fine.
tasty McTasty face. This is just gonna be me every time Kenny Pickett audibles out of Matt Canada's fucking shitty call.
Bro, man, that is just that would just fit perfectly. It honestly did.
I might do it the whole
Tasty
show.
face.
I'll just
Yeah.
tape it to my head.
Good.
There you go.
Let's hope so.
All right.
Won't be able to see anything, that's for sure.
Doesn't matter. I don't click the buttons anyway.
Technically, neither does Matt Canada either.
Oh! Say goodnight, Derek.
Good night, Greg.